So here's the nuts and bolts for the registration program. It's hosted by a company named Eventbrite. We've got all kinds of links all over Facebook, but just in case, if you decide to come here and you want to search for Winter War, it's up here. It'll bring you out to Winter War 2014. Signing up for it is very, very easy. All you gotta do is just have a Facebook account and say, hey, we want to join. It'll bring you to this page. This is Winter War. Up here at the top, you have the ability of registering, and I'll cover this a little bit more in detail. There's a little page that shows you when and where, who's going, event details. You can contact the organization team. We do have a Twitter feed, so you can keep up with us through Twitter. And at the bottom, it does have who is attending and what it is that they have actually done. So if we go back up here to the top, you have a few different options. You can participate as an individual, which is all very cool, or you can join a group. Now your group is your unit, okay? So if your unit is in here, you hit join a group, start typing in. It'll find your unit if it's here, okay? Now it only happens if you're here. If your unit has not signed up yet, you'll be the first one, so you're going to want to create the unit, and then you can manage your unit. So once you have a unit in here, there you go. You keep track of who's showing up and all the fun stuff, and you can contact them too. So it's a separate way of kind of keep up with your folks. Let's say I decided I was going to come as an individual. So what you've got is you have two different types of tickets for sale, okay? We have a prepaid general admission ticket. This means that you're going to go ahead and pay 25 bucks, that you have the option of buying a meal program, discounted t-shirts, and discounted beer steins. Thank you to Sir Carl for those. Or you can do cash at Troll. Now this is probably the one that most people are going to want to do because the price tag is $0. You're not charged for this. All you're doing is entering in your normal Dagohir waiver information in an electronic format so you can make a beeline through Troll, okay? Now, the cool thing about this site is that you have the ability of registering more than one person, and you have the ability of doing different ticket types. So if you're registering a small family of 4 or 5, which I guess is not a small family, then you can go ahead and do it in one shot, and everybody can get different options for things. So your order summary is at the top. It unfortunately will actually have a timer. Now the timer is for 2 hours. I assume that that's going to give everybody enough time to make any phone calls if they can't remember anything. But this is how the basic format works. The ticket buyer information is up here. This is the person who's actually purchasing the tickets, not necessarily the person whose tickets they are, okay? So for person number 1, they're going to do the prepaid general admission. Again, this is all the information that comes off of a standard Dagohir waiver. First name, last name, email address, cell phones, your home address. Just like we're going to need for your driver's license check-in, that's the information that we need. The birthday, your character name, realm, unit, emergency contact information, and this one's actually kind of cool. Okay, nobody's ever had the ability of doing this one. If you do have any medical issues, like you're allergic to penicillin, go ahead and let us know here. It gives us a database that we can actually print off names and health conditions and give them to the EMS staff there on site. So if something were to happen to you, we actually have a way that they can find out that information ahead of time just in case you're incapacitated. If this person is a minor, a new waiver is going to pop up down here at the bottom. You are going to have to fill out a physical form on site. I'm sorry, there's no ways around it. But as far as speeding up Troll check-in process, this is the way to go, okay? Your standard description of Dagohir and your waiver and release of liability is all up top right here. So all you gotta do is click yes, and then at Troll, you're going to have to acknowledge the fact that you did actually do this, sign it and date it, and then it's legally binding, okay? Let me go back. The second person, their information is up here someplace. I've lost it. Their information is back up here. So ticket number 2, they're going to do cash at Troll, so they're not going to be charged for this, okay? And I'll show you that they're not charged for it. Again, all the same information that is on your normal liability release of waiver. Down here toward the bottom, it does give you this dorky little ticket delivery format thing. Just ignore this, completely irrelevant and totally meaningless to the discussion, okay? Troll handles everything. When you prepay, this does pop up, okay? So we have some things. Sir Carl, again, we've got these great t-shirts going out this year. So if you want to prepay for a t-shirt that's cheaper than normal, go ahead and get one here. And the back of it's really cool. It says it's like paintball but with swords. They're awesome, okay? So we're going to add one to the cart. And I think that this Winter War ceramic beer stein is going to be epic for my garb. So I'm going to go ahead and pre-buy one of these since it's cheaper. And let's see, I plan on coming in on Friday and I want to do a vegetarian meal plan. So I'm going to click here and it's going to bring it up. Now, again, if I decide to click 2 or 3 or 4 or however many of these, it has to correspond to the number of people purchasing the tickets prepaid, okay? If I were to select 2, and I'll go ahead and show you, it's going to give me an error message because you have to prepay in order to have access to these things. If you don't prepay, don't worry about it. Bring cash. We have vendors here to feed you. That's not a problem. This is just something that we're offering for people ahead of time so that if you want to go ahead and get it all done out of the way ahead of time and not have to worry about bringing any money, it's just a little added service that we're doing, okay? But again, we have food vendors there on site. Don't worry about it. We've got it all covered. Now, once you're done, it's going to tell you your total amount. Again, at the very tip top, assuming it ever gets up there, at the very tip top, it has all the itemized things that you have. And if you want to drop something from your cart, it's not much more difficult than actually clicking an X beside it, and it makes the adjustment for you, okay? Now, once you actually go ahead and pay for everything, you're going to get email confirmations from Eventbrite. It's going to have the order confirmation sent out, your order numbers, all the information, everything you need, bada boom, bada bing, right there, okay? This is a great, easy peasy way of signing up, getting registration done ahead of time. That way, Troll is going to be exponentially much more fast for you. And just in case you can't tell, that's a time to stop.